I'm Kevin Klein. Let's talk Winnipeg about a few items that are happening within your Winnipeg City Hall that you are not being informed of. You're not hearing about this in the media. You're certainly not hearing about it from the mayor's office or our communications department. One of them is very concerning to me. After a few days of being on a soapbox of how we needed the Manitoba government to step up and implement more restrictions for COVID-19, well, the city of Winnipeg hasn't really done anything. Now, let's talk about that for a second, because that's a pretty bold statement and I should back that up. I'm speaking specifically of transit, Winnipeg City Transit. Are you aware of all of the potential exposures that are identified on Winnipeg City Transit buses? I don't think you're reading about it in the media. It's not being fed out to you easily on social media by the City of Winnipeg or by City Transit. You can go to the City of Winnipeg website, and if you have time, you could drill down through a number of pages and you can find a list of the potential exposures on Winnipeg buses. Or you can go to the province of Manitoba, who also listed from their contract tracing, which is much more detailed, and find out what city buses, when there was somebody that tested positive for COVID that could be a potential exposure for you. I mean, we're putting your life at risk with this. You would think this would be the number one priority, especially when you have an administration that is consistently saying how open and transparent we are, how we've made leaps and we've gone leaps and bounds to be more open and transparent. We're going to put the websites along here for you so you can see them, so you know what websites you can go to and you can see where potential exposure may have occurred on a Winnipeg City bus. Please check it. If you take the buses, please check. I'm also going to call on my colleagues of the Mayor's Inner Circle, the Executive Policy Committee members who get to decide everything and feel they have the right to make these decisions. Do something. Take action. We've closed down libraries and other facilities once again, and we talk about how we're not going to have any layoffs, and I don't know how. I don't know where this money is coming from. But we talk about that. Why aren't we putting those people to work? We need to show leadership. We need to have individuals on buses to make sure that people are wearing their masks. We can't leave that up to the drivers. They have to drive the bus, collect the fare. They can't be babysitting people on the bus. And at this very difficult and challenging time where we're all supposed to be in this together, where are we? Why are we not taking a leadership role on transit? I have heard far too many reports of people not wearing their mask. I mean, people get on the bus for free, nothing happens. They don't wear their mask, nothing happens. Let's show some leadership. Let's take some action, tangible action, now, to address the potential exposures and help protect the majority of our residents who have to use city transit. If you're going to keep it running, run it safely. The other issue I want to talk about is a vote that happened at City Council not that long ago. And this is about expenses. You have heard from this office on many occasions that members of the Executive Policy Committee and some appointees from the Mayor's office get extra pay. It's about $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month. Would you like that? So about $1,000 a month, plus they get extra expenses that they can add so they have more money to spend than other councillors. And I have long tried to change this process because it's undemocratic. It's not working. It is against the Winnipeg Charter to develop a party system, although we've done it. And the media doesn't seem to want to do anything about it, and it just seems to be accepted at City Hall, and it's because they have the majority. How do you overturn that? How do you beat something when they have the majority? It's impossible. So I moved another motion, one of many, this time saying the Executive Policy Council members have to report to the mayor. They work for the mayor. Now I know they all stand up and they say, oh, here's a great example. We don't always vote together. Fair enough. Half truth. Winnipeg Free Press did a story not long ago that indicated they went through all the votes. 95% of the time, EPC members, the inner circle, all vote together. So yes, 5% of the time you do not vote together, but the motions pass. I don't know of an EPC motion that hasn't passed in the last 7 years of this administration? Doesn't that call democracy into question? My suggestion was simple. Look, as much as you say you work for the entire city of Winnipeg, you work for a group. So those expenses should come off the mayor's expense account. The mayor's office has the second highest expense account in Canada, higher than Montreal and Vancouver. Not per capita, actual expenses, higher than Montreal and Vancouver. So why not take this extra money that taxpayers are required to pay to these members of the inner circle and charge it to the mayor's account? Seems fair and reasonable. Take a look at who voted no.
Councillors Allard, Orlico, Rollins, His Worship Mayor Bowman, Councillors Brawadi, Chambers, Eadie, Gillingham, Gilroy, Mays, Santos, and Madam Speaker, Councillor Sharma.
Did you hear about that in the media? No. Did you hear any of your councillors talking about it or debating it? No. Just a no. No discussion. Let's pretend like it's not there. Let's vote. And it goes away. Is that a party system? I think it might be. Finally, I want to touch on one thing, because I know it's really difficult for a lot of businesses out there. And I know that we're still requiring business tax. We're giving some rebates, and there's another one coming, a small token rebate. But there's a lot of businesses that don't qualify and that are being hurt. At a time when this leadership, this government said, we put in a hiring freeze because we know how difficult it's going to be. If you look with the last federal budget, over 50% of the money in that budget is going to be new money printed by the Bank of Canada. In layman's terms, that means our economy is going to suffer. Products are going to cost us more. It's already starting. These are facts. And the fact is, the city of Winnipeg continues to hire people, new positions, even though we're supposed to have a hiring freeze. Are you hearing about that? No. Is the media telling you about that? No. Is that how you want your money spent? Services have dropped year after year after year after year under this current leadership structure, EPC and so on. But staffing levels have not. I don't know how the math works on that. But what I do know is that it has to stop. We need to shake things up. It needs an overhaul. And the status quo has to go. And I'm going to continue to push for some clarity in what's happening within this 4-year budget, because I think there's a lot of realignment happening that nobody is telling you about. Keep watching. Keep engaged in municipal politics. We need you to be engaged in municipal politics to start the change that's necessary. If you have any questions or comments, call me, 204-986-5232, or email kevin@kevinklein.ca.